Praise. OKJ here, coming to you from the great state of Tennessee. As some of you already have read on the community wall, there isn't going to be a court hearing today for Andra Griffin. Her continuance is January the 8th. And it's my understanding that she doesn't have the same attorney, so I don't know how all that's going to work out. But the bottom line is OKJ got up this morning at 6 a.m. to get ready to go and got alerted by a couple of y'all. Thank you so much for letting me know. I was going to check the court portal just before I left the house, and I didn't even have to do that because y'all let me know, and I appreciate you doing that. So what was going to happen was I was going to attend this hearing. And this was over the issue of social media, this world inside of a world, and First Amendment rights, along with the great state of Tennessee and their whole look on it, how it was all going to pan out. I was going to do some recorded vids, and then I was going to get with y'all in a live stream over all my notes. Then I was going to dovetail into my opinions about how this case could be broke wide open. I was going to put it all together. It never works out for me. I guess I just do what I do and hope it all works out, but it doesn't seem to do that. So because I didn't go to the hearing, I thought, well, you know what? January 8th is a long way to wait. And y'all, you can just take this for whatever you want to take it for. I believe, y'all, by January 8th, by the end of this year, there will be some movement on this case. I believe there'll be actually, and this is just an opinion, that they're going to come to a conclusion, one way or the other, about Sebastian Rogers. Bullhorn Betty had a lot to say about the Sumner County law enforcement, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and all of that, but specifically about Sumner County. And it really bothered me because, you know, maybe I'm just a little old-fashioned, but I do have some confidence in law enforcement when it comes to investigating missing people. 2 days ago, now just hear me, because we're going to go into this. You're going to get to this place where OKJ is going to share with you what I believe is going to break this case wide open. But 2 days ago, I want you to know about this, okay? Sumner County, 2 days ago. Seconds count when a child disappears. Distraught parents reported a 4-year-old autistic little boy went missing in Sumner County. An immediate response led to a dramatic rescue, thanks in large part to the use of drones. Drones flew high above the Flat Ridge area of White House in Sumner County. Sheriff Eric Craddock says he was outside with his mom and he walked off. Craddock was among the 36 searchers trying to navigate through the thick brush looking for the boy. The terrain there is steep and it's fall time and the leaves are falling. It's rugged terrain, said Craddock. But all those leaves falling made for a clean line of sight from above and through the trees, expanding the search quickly. We put the drone up, and within 20 minutes being up, we found the child in the woods, said Craddock. Drone operators spotted the boy along the bank of a creek. The sheriff, guided by the drone, made the first contact with the child. The boy was wet and shivering as Craddock wrapped him in his jacket. He ran him up to the EMA director, Ken Widener, and the child's father. His dad picked him up, and just watching him hug him was amazing, said Widener. The little boy was found 1 hour after the emergency call went out. He was cold but unharmed. It's amazing getting him back to his family. He's happy, he's healthy, and it's the ending we want in every case, says Craddock. Since the drone program started in Sumner County, there have been 15 finds or rescues, all thanks to the use of drones. Sheriff Craddock calls the EMA's drone program a force multiplier. A drone can cover more ground in 10 minutes than 10 searchers on the ground in 3 hours. Why am I sharing this with you? Because 2 days ago, a little autistic little boy was found, okay? And you think about it, as soon as the call went out. So there is a difference with the Sebastian Rogers case. Overnight, we don't know what happened. None of us know what happened. And so there was a time there, and time is so crucial. Crews have searched thousands of miles using drones in the Sebastian Rogers case. They've used helicopters. They've used horses, search dogs, and dive teams. No evidence, according to law enforcement, of foul play. They are in investigative mode, and that is important for what I will be sharing with you today. Sebastian, obviously, y'all, just to recap it, was reported missing on Monday, February 26th of 2024 from his home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. He was last seen by his mother the night before at their home, and somewhere, y'all, between 10 p.m. to 6 a.m. when she got up, something happened in there. Because earlier they're saying that he took out the garbage, so he was home. He was home. Now, on a side note, Dog the Bounty Hunter, more power to him. His company has said that we have pinpointed some credible leads in Oregon and New York near the Canadian border. And y'all, if you ain't figured out KJ's mindset, it's like, okay, how do you pinpoint? How do you pinpoint this credible lead, these credible leads? Are you talking to law enforcement? Do you have some kind of secret way of gaining tips about things that law enforcement don't know nothing about? What's going on with that? And I thought, well, this really does kind of dovetail into why I believe that this case is fixing to be busted wide open. All right? Just to give you a brief summary of where things stand right now. And this is through Nick Barris. And y'all, Nick Barris is a journalist here in Tennessee. I trust this man. He's done incredible work through the years. He's very reputable and he's smart. But he says, several of you have asked me for an update, and here you go. It's now been more than 8 months since 15-year-old Sebastian Rogers with autism disappeared from his Hendersonville, Tennessee home. It is important to keep his face and name out so the public does not forget this case. Many have asked about reports of new alleged leads reported by some private individuals who have joined in the search. And I can only assume, but maybe this is what he's talking about. Dog the Bounty Hunter, talking about pinpointing these credible leads. Who knows? I am cautious, says Nick Barris, with anything posted to social media and will only report the facts here according to the professionals handling the ongoing investigation. I am in contact with the Sumner County Sheriff's investigators and EMA personnel, the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, and District Attorney Ray Whitley. The case remains active. Some tips continue to be called into the hotline, and this is not a cold case. All that being said, there are no new developments, no confirmed sightings on or hard leads, and those close to the case, y'all. Okay, he is in this. He understands what's going on in terms of being able to share the law enforcement agencies sharing information with him as they can. That those close to the case tell me if any private individuals had any leads of substance, they would know about it. There are none, says Nick Barris. Now, let me just close that by saying he talks about some have asked if the TBI or FBI or Sumner County Sheriff's Office has cleared the Proudfoots, Sebastian's mother and stepfather in this case, question mark. This may stem from something that was written in a court document. I do not know the exact context, but I can tell you what I've been telling you all along. No one has been cleared in this case, as authorities consider any and all possibilities, knowing new evidence could surface at any time. But with that being said, there are no suspects in this case. There is a big difference between not being cleared and being named a suspect. I check in weekly with sheriff's investigators, the EMA, District Attorney Ray Whiteley, and the TBI. They tell me Chris and Katie Proudfoot and Sebastian's biological father, Seth, are not suspects. They've been questioned. Their stories have been vetted. And there is absolutely no evidence at this time linking any of them to Sebastian's disappearance. None. I know many have their suspicions. That's fine, says Nick Barris, but suspicions mean nothing without evidence. DA Whitley is ready and willing to prosecute anyone once evidence links someone to what happened to Sebastian. But for now, such evidence simply does not exist. Hopefully, the reward money will help lead to tips that break the case. Call 1-800-TBI-FIND with any leads that anyone might have. And that's what Nick Barris is looking to. He's looking at the tips. And I'm sure there have been several tips that have been called in since all this began in February. And I would love to sit here and look at y'all and say, y'all, you know what's going to break this case wide open? Someone's going to give a tip. And it's going to lead to Sebastian Rogers, right? But how far? Now just go down this line of thinking with me, all right? How far is Sebastian's residential home from the city of Hendersonville? He lives in Hendersonville, but you know and I know that just because you live in a city called Hendersonville, you could be in a residential community outside the city a little ways or this or that. His home, factually speaking, is in the Stafford Court area of Hendersonville near the Beach High School. Okay, now that's important for what we're going to discuss. Think about that. His home is near a high school. What do you think? Anywhere near that high school, there might possibly be. Here it goes, y'all. And maybe other people have already talked about this, but I've been studying and researching this. A flock safety camera is a type of automated license plate recognition camera that helps law enforcement, communities, and neighbors fight crime. It detects vehicles. Flock cameras capture license plates and vehicle characteristics. It sends alerts. Flock cameras send real-time alerts to law enforcement when they are detected. Stolen vehicles, wanted suspects, vehicles associated with missing persons. Flock cameras can help identify suspects, recover stolen vehicles, and solve other crimes. Flock cameras upload footage to the cloud so customers can access it from anywhere. And the customers are law enforcement, y'all. Pure and simple. Flock cameras use software to monitor the health of the camera and fix issues immediately. So there you go. This is the first part of it, the flock cameras, okay? You know, a while back they had some kind of video. It looked like it was at night near Sebastian's house where the people thought it was maybe people in the backyard with flashlights. And there's been talk about this garbage truck and all of these things, okay? But on September 5th, September 5th of this year, Hendersonville, Tennessee. This is News Channel 5. Cameras along Hendersonville streets are reading license plate to notify police of stolen vehicles and criminals on the roads. 2 LPR activations within 12 hours helped officers recover 2 stolen vehicles and arrest 4 people. The first incident happened on Wednesday night around 11 p.m. The system alerted police of a stolen vehicle in the city, and officers stopped the driver, 24-year-old Christopher Whitehead, and his passenger, 28-year-old Heather May. Now, police credit the capture of the suspects to its license plate reader system, the flock system. The department has had readers, y'all. Hendersonville law enforcement has had these flock cameras for 6 years. 6 years, y'all. But improving technology and better cameras have increased the number and types of crimes that are being involved. This is in Hendersonville, Tennessee. Flock cameras are all over the place, y'all. We can go live with all of those with the touch of a button, said one of the law enforcement agents in Sumner County, pulling up multiple locations. One of the locations is a gas station. He's just giving an example. A gas station near a busy highway. If we have something like a violent crime in this camera view, we can just back it up with a click of the mouse till we see the event occur. So never before have we been able to access pictures of suspects and suspect vehicles this quickly. This law enforcement officer, Ryan, added that the combination of an LPR camera, which is a flock camera, y'all, and growing network of citizen videos is making it harder and harder for criminals to escape arrest. So if you are the owner, now here we go, y'all. If you're an owner of a home or business in the area and want to be part of a program, so we got the flock cameras regardless, right? Now there's a program that's been in existence for a while, y'all, since last year, called ConnectSumner.org. Connect Sumner is a new public safety program enabling the people of Sumner County to help keep their community safe. Your participation will greatly enhance emergency preparedness by enabling police, fire, and public safety professionals to better assess and rapidly respond to criminal activity and the emergency situations. It will also enable investigators to easily gather evidence in case of an incident. This is the actual site in Sumner County, the ConnectSumner.org, talking to its citizens. This new program is a groundbreaking multi-agency effort in Sumner County to help preserve and advance public safety efforts within our community. Businesses and residents can take community security one step further by giving Sumner County law enforcement agencies direct access to your camera feed in case of a nearby emergency. All you need is a small cord device that you plug into your camera system. So I looked at that and I was like, wow, not only do they have flock cameras all over Sumner County there, but now they've got a program. It ain't just those cameras that they're operating. It is also residents and businesses giving access to law enforcement so they can just type it in and see if there's a camera on the side of a bank, they can do that, right? And I was like, well, who knows? You know, who knows how many of these residents and these businesses do this stuff? Well, September 9th of 2024, WKRN talked about this. They said Hendersonville police are asking citizens and businesses to register their security cameras as part of the Connect Sumner program to quickly deal with emergencies, crimes, and disasters. Now here it is, y'all. The Connect Summer program began. It began in 2023, y'all. And Sebastian Rogers was not missing till February of 2024. Okay? So it's been in existence before he became missing. Since then, it has grown steadily. It's grown steadily and now has 1,969 home surveillance cameras and 123 commercial locations registered in the network, which are available to police at any time. And that is just in Sumner County, y'all. With the program, police are immediately able to pinpoint crime using their real-time crime map, which shows first responders in real time responding to calls. In fact, every police car in Hendersonville is equipped with this technology, allowing each officer to see where they're heading. The real-time crime mapping also allows officers to lasso designated areas and see crime trends. However, officials say the highlight of the program is the ability of citizens to share crucial videos with police. We can see cameras registered within this system, said Hendersonville Police Department's Assistant Chief Scott Ryan as he guided News 2 through a tour of the complex system. During the tour, Ryan showed News 2 dozens of blue icons in community areas of a map, which according to him represents the homes that have registered with the police and allows a secure exchange of surveillance video in areas where a crime may have occurred. According to Ryan, if there is a crime, officers can now email the affected area with a request for information and ask if anyone has visual evidence that can be securely uploaded to police at the homeowner's discretion. Previously, police said it would have taken many days to get such a request to the citizens. Today, we are accomplishing in 5 minutes what it took 3 or 4 days to accomplish with that email request, and it provides a link to securely upload your video, Ryan said. We have no access to their system. They have to select what they want to upload for our use, and then we have access to it. In addition, Ryan showed News 2 more than 100 green icons on the map, which he said are live cameras police can tap in directly. According to Ryan, these commercial businesses have given police access to their external surveillance systems at any time. He added police provide the business owners a free device that integrates the video. So what does this have to do with Sebastian Rogers? Because the big question has always been, did somebody come to his neighborhood in a car, drive up, and he come out and get in the car, or they drove up and he was in the backyard and he didn't have his shoes on, and here's the question, okay, that law enforcement are going to have to answer, and I believe they'll be able to deduce it through the flock system and this other program that Sumner County has, is whether or not a vehicle actually came into that neighborhood. And they can look, and the fact that that high school is close by to his home, folks, there are probably security cameras, not only at the high school, but other businesses, because businesses are going to be near that high school and this residential area that Sebastian lived in. How many of them, before he came up missing, had registered with this program? And even if there wasn't a program where citizens get involved and say, yes, just send me an email and I'll give you my Ring camera footage or whatever, there is the flock system that Sumner County has had for 6 damn years. Vehicles come in daily that will come back registered as stolen, said Detective Sergeant Chris Gagnon. A lot of cases, if we can have officers over there in that area, they've been trained on takedown maneuvers and ways to keep them from getting out of the parking lots and keep them from getting out of the city before we can take them into custody. The camera system sends a notification, and when it detects a stolen vehicle or a vehicle with known connections to a crime, and police can then respond to the area and try to find the suspects. Okay, this isn't about stolen vehicles. But what I am saying is if they have ascertained that a vehicle actually came into Sebastian Rogers' neighborhood, and y'all, this wasn't like the streets are full of vehicles between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. It would be a lot easier overnight to be able to say, well, there are cars on the road. Let's look at each of these cars, which would be a tip. Find out who owns these cars. And folks, think about it like this. The flock system, you think that Sumner County is the only one that has that? We're talking about adjoining counties, the state of Tennessee, the adjoining states. Flock cameras and connectsumner.org will rule out, y'all. Will rule out or rule in whether Sebastian Rogers left in a car. And if they can rule that out, don't you think that kind of puts that one, aside, where they can look at other things that could have happened? Let's just, for sake of argument, they looked on these flock cameras, through these door ring bells and all of these, y'all, they're in investigative mode right now. They're in investigative mode. And if they show that they've checked every single vehicle that's come out of that neighborhood overnight there. Y'all, they're, they got to go out of that neighborhood. I mean, they've even got flock cameras near the busy interstate if he was to get in a vehicle, and they take him immediately out of the county. So if they can deduct that, take that off the table in their own investigative, analyzing and all of this and that, what's left? What is left? If somebody didn't come pick Sebastian Rogers up at his house overnight, then that's going to look bad. And again, the reason I brought up not only this little 4-year-old autistic boy that was found within an hour, but I also was trying to highlight that they did this huge search of Sebastian. Yes, there could have been a possibility that in this search they missed him, but I just don't believe that. I believe that somehow, some way, that Sebastian could have absolutely got into a vehicle with somebody, whether the person in the vehicle was nefarious or not. I'm not even going to go down that line of thinking. The question is, did Sebastian Rogers get into a vehicle and leave? Okay? Why he left or who he left with is a whole different thing to even talk about. I'm trying to simplify this, and I'm trying my best to say, you know what? They've got the flock system. They've got this community program where people can upload their vids. The answer to that question, all right, the answer to that question is going to break this case wide open and it's going to be done through the flock system and surveillance of governmental entities and these programs. Because, like I said, it's not just Sumner County. It's everywhere in the state of Tennessee, and I'll show you in a minute what I'm talking about. The bottom line is if that answer to that question is that he left in a vehicle. How about this? Just try this on for size. If he got into a vehicle and they can ascertain that, how about this? The flock cameras have been installed in over 4,000 cities in 45 states. So it isn't just Sumner County. So let me just show you this, because OKJ doesn't have a big graphic screen or anything like that. Y'all know I'm just an old country girl. But if you'll look into the camera and you'll understand where I'm going with this. This is just a map of the United States of America. You see it? You see that map right there of the United States of America? You got Tennessee right there. Right there's Tennessee. You got Dog Bounty Hunters saying they got leads over here in Oregon. Some say up here in New York. Well, folks, this is factual data. Look at it. Do you see the flock system? Do you see surveillance systems? Yes, it's a lot less up in the upper portion on that side. But look at Tennessee, y'all. Look at the flock system and other surveillance programs within the state of Tennessee. Look at it. So, it's my opinion that there is going to be a conclusion to all this based on evidence, not speculation. How about this? Say they get some information off a flock system and they find out this person's license plate and they say, where has this, can we find anywhere on the system where they've left Tennessee and they're going this way? We're going to find out about them personally. We're going to run them to see if they've got, God forbid, y'all, a pedophile or anything. We're going to run their criminal background. We're going to find out who these people are. Where did they go? If we can ascertain, says law enforcement, that this car went over into that neighborhood and left during the midnight, overnight there, then they can also track it to where it goes. So I just want y'all to know that, in my opinion, I believe they are going to conclude this investigation at least by the end of this year. I think they're gathering all of this up. They're getting leads from these flock systems that they have to investigate. Find out, what was this car doing overnight during this crucial time? Maybe they don't have it coming out of his neighborhood. Maybe they just see one on the street overnight. They're going to check every damn vehicle, and folks, overnight like that, not everybody's out on the street. They can cross off the citizens there, that might have, say they got to get up real early to get to work, or whatever reason they're out on the road overnight. They can check those leads, and they can also say, look, here's someone in the middle of the night here, overnight on the 25th and 26th, that's near the high school. Well, we don't see them coming out of Sebastian's residential subdivision there, but they're out here for some reason, and they're from a different state. And what are they doing here? Do they have any ties to Sumner County or even the state of Tennessee? So I have confidence by the end of this year that something will absolutely happen. Absolutely. CHP says the question I'm asking is law enforcement involved? The Proudfoot family is a well-connected family in the area. They are all involved in it. Well, everybody's got their theories and hypotheses, CHP. And I understand where, y'all seen me through the evolution of what I thought. I thought it was very suspicious that he didn't leave with his shoes. And think about it like this. If Katie Proudfoot had done something, why tell them that he didn't wear his shoes? Wouldn't that make it look more suspicious on her part? But, I could sit here all day long, y'all, and throw theories and hypotheses out here. But what I am trying to do is get down to the actual facts of what law enforcement has at their disposal in terms of tools to find Sebastian Rogers. Unfortunately, this is not a public system in terms of we can't get on the computer and look up flock cameras or any of these communities that set up these where the law enforcement emails you. Say if I have a Ring doorbell out here, I get an email, hey, KJ, we would like this time here. Would you please send it to us? They've got over 1,000 of those people in the community, some businesses, some residential. And not to mention other states have these systems installed, and I guarantee you, if there is a tool that is going to break this case wide open, it's going to be the flock system, and I do believe it's going to answer the question once and for all. Did Sebastian Rogers get in a vehicle and leave? Did somebody abduct him and force him in the vehicle, or did he get in the vehicle willingly? Maybe he met them online, and maybe Katie and Christopher just didn't know that he had that much access. I cannot imagine, even with his autism, that he was not online at his age, being a teenager and all that. I just can't imagine them saying, no, Sebastian, you can't be online. I just don't see that. Maybe they had parental controls on his use. But you know as well as I do that there are some sick-ass people in this world that know how to work around that. Just because you got parental controls on your accounts and everything doesn't mean that these freaking predators, don't know how to go in there and disrupt and really, I guess you could say, even pretend to be somebody that Sebastian thought was his peer. Now, that's just a theory and that's a hypothesis, but the question is going to be answered if it hasn't already been answered by law enforcement. And that is, did Sebastian get in a car and leave? Because if you answer that question and they say, nope, we see no evidence that he got into a vehicle through all these surveillance all of this, we see no evidence. We tracked down all leads of all vehicles that were on the road overnight, and they can do it, y'all. They get the license plate reader. The flock system will tell you. It isn't about a camera showing Sebastian in the passenger side of a vehicle when on down the road. They don't care whether they can see it or not. They're going to say, what are they doing from 10 o'clock at night till 6 o'clock in the morning? What are they doing out here? And I believe it's going to be answered, and I think that there's going to be a conclusion to all of this. You know, I honestly would love, absolutely love, for us to find out that he took off, he got tired of his parents treating him the way that maybe he didn't really want to accept, that he had his limitations, and decided to take off. Like Dog the Bounty Hunter talking about Oregon going over the Canadian border. He's not going over the Canadian border. They're not going to let him through. I don't care what they dress him up as a girl or anything else. They are on high alert. And 45 states out of this country has the flock system and has their own community surveillance systems on businesses and everything else. And they are all conglomerating with law enforcement, not only for these vehicle thefts and other crimes and all that, but to find missing people. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. Leave your comments. Let me know what you think. With this kind of information that is factually based, if you have any idea, I'm here in Tennessee, you have any idea, I mean, I can't get on the flock system. I do have confidence in law enforcement, but if you think of anything that OKJ could do to bring Sebastian Rogers home, I'll tell you what I have been doing, and that is praying. I haven't been bringing it out very much, but I will say this. He will be found, y'all. There is no doubt about it. Sebastian Rogers will be found. So I love you all. And remember, you know, some people say, well, KJ, Summer Wells, they never found her. They're never going to find her and all this and that. Think about the time. The time, it'd been different if it was this little 4-year-old boy that within the 20 minutes of him wandering off, they found him. You know, that there's some time there that is crucial that law enforcement doesn't have. It really does stymie them. They would love to have right off the bat been able to say, how long has Sebastian been gone? Has it been an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours? They only have a time frame. And you better believe it when I say they're checking those flock cameras and they are gathering their evidence. And they're going to answer that question. And if they answer the question that no vehicle went over there, then folks, he's either out there somewhere where they didn't find him in the search, or something bad happened to him. And I'm not saying Katie and Christopher did anything, but you just think about your options if you say, we know for a fact that no vehicle that we've checked out during that time frame had anything to do with Sebastian Rogers. We have no proof that Sebastian Rogers got into a vehicle. So leave your comments. Let me know what you think. I love you all. I apologize that, this continuance with Bullhorn Betty. I wanted so much to find out what Tennessee was going to do about this world inside of a world. But it has given me a chance to share just a little bit of an opinion on what will break open this case. And I do believe it will be these cameras all over the United States. So y'all have a great day and keep on looking.